Arizona, homeowner's best friend.
Anything with shrubs or ground covers right now?
Shrubs and ground cover, same kind of thing. If you've got deciduous shrubs and ground cover, great time to trim them. You can just use, if you're hedging them, trimming those out, trimming out, again, the dead or the broken or the decayed stuff, get all that stuff out. That's kind of your first level. And then trim for your shape. And for those, you unless you got a fruiting type bush, like with our blackberries, that's one that's really important. You're going to take whatever ends fruited last year. Well, you're going to take those ones and you're going to cut them all the way down to the ground. But then there's some other branches that grew last year, like grew through your summer. Those ones you're going to end up putting back up onto a trellis or looping over, and those are the ones where all your fruit is going to come from this year. And so it's important to try to differentiate which ones. So if you do remember, you probably do remember, it's good to go out and kind of mark the ones you're going to trim off. And then leave the other ones, because you got your primocanes and your floricanes. Your primocanes are the first year growth of a cane, which is usually a little more floppy in nature, and your floricane is last year's fruiting cane, and that's going to be more hard, more woody. That's the one you're going to be trimming out if you want to increase and maximize the production of your, especially your blackberries, if you want to maximize production this year. Now, if you just left it and you weren't sure, you're still going to get some production, but it's going to be about 1/3 what you probably could have got if you did the trimming right this time.
A lot of technical details.
Yeah, and it takes some practice and awareness, just paying attention to what your fruiting plants and things are doing in order to optimize their production. Grapes are probably one of the more complicated ones. That's another one that we do start pruning those right now, but I often wait just a little bit longer to prune my grapes, because sometimes they hold their leaves a bit longer, which is also kind of true for some of the blackberries. But because I want them to be a little more wicker, and I can kind of train my grape a little bit more as I'm trimming it to pick maybe only 4 major canes out of the entire thing in order to increase my production on my grapes. And if you do it right, you can get off of two of our grape plants. We got 75 bunches off of just two plants. And that's when you prune it right, you get 75, and these are bunches that are very full and very, very large grapes. Now, if you don't prune right, you can take the same two, and you might have 150 little grape things on there, but none of them are going to grow big enough to even call a grape. They just look like pearl necklaces, on strings, and that's not what we're going for. So if you want to get maximized production off of your grapes, you got to learn how to prune those correctly too.
Rosie on the house, every Arizona home.